Alright. We should be good now. This eCam hasn't failed us yet, so I'll just assume everything's running. I guess I can run back over to YouTube, but let's go ahead and get started. We're already 17 minutes in here. Oh, shit, we got local recordings here. Hold on. Are you ready for local recording?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Yep.
Alright. Start local recording in 3, 2, 1. Clap check. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Just freaked out my cat there. Okay. Good afternoon? No, it's evening, right? That's what you guys called me at the last time? Good night? Good night? Yeah. You're listening to PHP Ugly episode 175. And hopefully we're streaming correctly now. We tried to switch back over to OBS. And, of course, very last minute, Shutter let us know that everything was good. But by that time, I already shut down OBS and we switched back to eCam. So maybe we'll give OBS another try next week. But we're back to the old eCam software, which isn't as nice. I don't have as much control and can't do as many cool things with. But it doesn't matter. I'm getting off topic. I'm your host, Eric Van Johnson. And with me tonight are my good friends, John Congdon.
Hello, hello.
And Thomas Rideout.
Hi!
Why do I have an echo? Why are you guys echoing to me? Is that on the stream? Are you guys echoing on the stream? Stop! I must have a tab open. Maybe I have a tab open with the show going. Oh my god. What the hell is going on here? Go to the stream. If you guys are echoing on the stream, we're done for the night, man, because I have no other thing to do here. Twitter? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Let me go over to the stream and see if you're echoing. Don't stop talking here.
Don't stop believing?
Can we just start over? This is a little embarrassing.
Okay, you're not echoing on the stream, so you're echoing somewhere on my computer. So I'll just live with it for now. Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate that. So, wow. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. Like I said, try to switch over to OBS. Technical difficulties. I don't do this for a living, so whatever. How's everybody's week going? How was everybody's week?
Good, busy.
Yeah.
Very busy. I'm very excited about a new technology that I'm working on.
What's that?
It's called SSE, server-side events.
Is this like a real thing, or is it something you're making up?
No, it's a real thing. We'll get into it later on in the episode, but yeah, it's a sort of replacement for Comet, if you remember what Comet is.
Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar. What was Comet?
It's the long polling open HTTP connections.
Interesting. Okay. Well, why would we get into it? Why wouldn't we talk about it right now?
Well, I figured we'd ask John how things were going too, and make this the sort of standard progression of our intro sequence.
Yes.
That's where you get it wrong.
All right, John, how was your week? It's apparently Thomas wants us to lead up to him.
Hey, we're building the suspense.
Yeah.
Just stressful. I think every week is more stressful than the last. It's just, business is business. There's so much going on, and then on top of that, trying to code and get stuff done.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
The business thing is getting to be a lot, that's for sure.
Is it getting to be too much?
Not necessarily too much. There's still so many things up in the air that we're not, because we're new to the employee thing. We tried really hard before making the change to make sure we had all of our costs understood. But until money starts coming out of the bank account to pay people for all of the benefits and everything else that we're offering, I don't 100% know that I have the numbers down.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you start having people asking for things, it makes it like Eric and I are very generous when it comes to what we're contractors and now employees. At least I feel we are. They may feel
No,
different.
I would agree that you are. I've seen the conversations and definitely feel left out.
Aww.
So,
It's you guys are throwing money around, and I'm just sort of watching everyone cheer.
I wish it was quite that simple, but yeah. So we want to be fair. We want to give everything we can, but at the same time, need to make sure that the business is here tomorrow. You know, one of my mentors back before he even had a business always told me that there's a difference between being an employer and an employee. You know, an employee expects a paycheck. An employer has to worry about making a paycheck, like being able to pay for a paycheck. And it's so true.
Yeah, I mean, not that it's a good comparison, but I'm dealing with my teenagers trying to be adults now, and them not having any concept of how much things cost or where things come from.
Or they can just move out. You know, I can move.
Yeah.
I can afford to move out. It's like, yeah, sure. You know, rent
Sure,
is
yeah.
rent's only $500. It's like, yeah, rent and utilities and gas and food and.
Well, my kids have these very, let's say, ambitious ideas of where they will land on their feet when they fall out of the nest. But all three of them are capable of getting their driver's licenses, but don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been trying to explain, like, well, hey, if you can't get that one thing done, you're already way behind the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Not that those things relate, you know, the woes of business operation and teenagers.
Oh no! I mean, it's pretty close. You know, I wouldn't discount that at all. It's just the thing. I guess the biggest difference is that I don't know. There's just so much writing on the business aspect of it. Like John said, you know, we think we figured out the numbers, and you know, as things go on, at this point, just like everything's costing us money. Like we just have so much money going out now, more than we've ever had going out at any one time before, and it's just, yeah, I don't know, stressful.
Until you have a couple of months under your belt where you're like, okay, payroll with all of the benefits was this amount of money. I don't have those numbers solid. That's really what it comes down to. I need months of data to make sure I didn't miss anything, because we're offering health insurance. That doesn't take effect till February 1st. So I'm not even going to have full numbers for another month.
Yeah.
But people are asking for stuff now that we need to make decisions on. So we're handling it. I don't want to be like Debbie Downer and be like, it's so horrible, because it's not. It's still exciting and stressful.
Yeah, it reminds me of trying to choose a healthcare plan where you've got all your numbers for all of your regular visits, your prescriptions, to get the right healthcare plan, you have to do all of this work to make sure all the numbers come together and that you're getting the best deal out of it. And then you just sort of cross your fingers that everything got added up correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did someone's microphone switch? I'm getting like a ton of white noise now.
I've been messing with mine because they're saying on the stream I'm super quiet, and I hadn't turned all my stuff down earlier because John said I was super loud. So I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, I'm just getting a ton of white noise from you.
I'll deal with it on my end.
I did turn it back up,
I need to hear you.
but now Thomas is saying there's a bunch of white noise. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, I'll live with it.
Okay, you guys live with it.
So, SSE. This got real confusing for me real quick because on the client side, it's called event source.
Really?
Not event sourcing, but it is
Event
the
source.
Where are the events coming from? Where is the source of these events?
Yeah, so this is a functionality that's built into all the modern browsers, and it basically allows for an open monodirectional connection to a server. So the server can communicate to you, but you can't communicate to the server. And the thing with Comet, which you'll know as these long-lasting open connections that once something occurs, finally sends a response message, is that Comet can time out, and also when a Comet message is sent, the connection has to be reopened again to get the next message. Whereas with server-side events and event source, you can send a live feed of JSON data that can be parsed out by the client side.
How is that different than WebSockets?
So WebSockets are asynchronous and require a WebSocket server. Whereas event source with server-side events runs over the HTTP protocol and can just be run on your standard web server.
You're still going to have the same issue you have with WebSockets as far as number of connections you can maintain at any given time then.
Yeah. But for my application, I'm not expecting too many, and it broadcasts similar to WebSockets, where you can create, if you implement it, you can create channels and things like that where only certain users can listen to it, and it's a technology that I've been looking into for the last week, because if we don't have to pay for pusher channels, then that saves us a good chunk of change.
Interesting.
And it's funny to look it up because you get these articles that basically say, I needed a thing but didn't want to run a WebSocket server, and I researched and I found this, and it's great and I love it. But it's just a couple articles out there total, a couple blog posts total. It's really not a commonly used technology from what I can tell, and there isn't a native driver for Laravel broadcasting, which is what I need.
There's your open source project for the year.
That is 100% my open source project for the year. So that's what I will be doing, is I will be writing a server-side events driver for Laravel Broadcaster.
Is it called server side or server sent events? I think it's server sent events.
I might be sent. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I just see
Googling
SSE
stuff.
everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just googling stuff, and that's the only thing I'm coming up with is server sent events. So I'm sure that must be what it is.
Yeah,
I like that
there's
you're announcing that you were going to work on this on a public live chat. So if you don't, people are going to start calling you out on it. Just saying.
Now, that's it. Like, everybody who's listening to the show right now, we've got to hold Thomas to this. He's going to create a Laravel driver for SSE.
Why do you do this to me?
You did it to yourself. What are you talking about? Why do you?
Everyone was just going to ignore me.
It's gonna motivate you, man. Don't worry about it. It'll motivate you.
I guess.
Everything you said is bold. Nobody's gonna.
I'll help you. You get the project going, I'll help you.
It's not a huge project. There's already a PHP library for doing it nice and easy.
So really, you just have to write a wrapper. Even easier.
Yeah. Really, it's just a proxy class, and that's it.
Ah, easy peasy, man. You'll have that done by next week.
Hopefully. I mean, that's my goal with this. It's a interesting technology, and it has its drawbacks, but it also has its advantages. And if you were writing something like a stock ticker app, it's actually significantly better than WebSockets, because WebSockets require that two-way connection and all the resources associated with opening ports and dedicating them to clients.
Mm.
Whereas this stuff doesn't. There's also, I found out an SSE server written for Symfony, and it's actually written in Go.
There's an SSE server written for Symfony in Go.
Yeah. It's called Mercure, and it works as a hub.
Can you spell
similar? Mercure.
Mercure.
Yeah, and it was released in March of last year, but it's just sort of a mass broadcasting hub. It's just designed for managing permissions and streams for outbound streaming data, no inbound functionality.
So this is just a composer install. I mean, I don't see what would prevent you from. Is it specific to Symfony? If you install this component outside of Symfony application, you must require the auto load. Now, I don't think this is specific to Symfony.
It's not specific to Symfony, but you also have to include the Mercure hub and configure the hub as a separate application, because that's what's written in Go. So you post a message to the hub, and the hub sends it out to X clients, sort of like a load balancer or like multicasting.
Interesting. So this is what you're looking at doing this, and instead of you mentioned last week you're going to start working with some sockets. Is this replacing that?
Yeah. So this would replace pusher channels.
Pusher, yeah, that's what you mentioned. Yeah. Interesting. Well, let's see how that goes. Because I mean, we could probably use something like this if you feel this works out for you. I don't know.
That's the interesting thing to me, is that it's such a lightly documented protocol, or at least not a well-known protocol. And I think it's picking up over the last year as people are starting to say, I don't need a full WebSockets interface, I just need to broadcast stuff.
See, this is a perfect example, Thomas. This is where you miss out. I mean, like, if you follow through on this, whether you write a plugin or not, that's not really relevant. But if you follow through on this, whether you use it or don't use it, just the knowledge you gain from it, that's the type of thing that you can write a conference talk on, or submit an article to PHP Architect on.
I was going to say something about that, but apparently whenever I say something, I'm held to the fire now and have to do it.
We do it out of friendship. We do it out of love, man. We do it to motivate. That's why we're here, to motivate each other. Gosh, it's so easy not to be motivated.
It really is. It's been killing me.
Yeah, I don't know if this is something I've come across. So yeah, I'm really curious about how it goes for you. How is this something you're working on right now? Like, will we get updates next week, or?
You will. It is the thing that I'm working on when I don't have other stuff to work on. So, depending on what comes down the pipeline tomorrow, I could have it done tomorrow.
Cool.
So I will keep you guys updated.
I'd really like to know more about it at scale. Like what kind of there are.
So would I. That's the thing that I cannot get a solid answer on, is how does this scale with Nginx and and all that. Because it is still a long request. It's just that it doesn't close.
Yeah, it seems like that would start to bog down a server.
It seems like it, but I think that's the old 5.6 days talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's our memories of what it used to be like, and it isn't really like that anymore.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
But
Fair.
again, I wasn't able to get really solid numbers of the thing working at scale. I did see people were using it at scale just through a web server, not using a third application. So supposedly it works, but that's something I'm going to have to find out. I'm going to have to run actual tests to see what it does.
Yeah. Man, I just want to get back to coding, man. I feel like I've been doing everything these last couple of weeks but coding.
We should unplug the arcade machine.
They don't touch that thing anymore.
Nobody touches that. Matter of fact, we're talking about getting rid of the office. We need to figure out if we're going to sell that arcade machine or one of us is taking it home and putting it in our living room. But man, we just I am getting some exposure to like a part of our industry that I've never been super interested in, but it's kind of cool to get like some exposure to it. We have a client who has really just kind of gone full hog and into the digital marketing aspect of it, right? Really wanting to spend a lot of time, money, and effort on UIs, getting an understanding of behaviors from users and all that. It's stuff that's really out of our scope. I mean, we don't even try to pretend like that's what we do. We're back-end developers. We're pretty clear on that. I mean, we have some UI people to kind of get us along, but not to that degree.
I do UX.
Yeah, so we've been engaging with some groups that specialize in digital marketing, and I've been having a couple of meetings with them. It's just it's a different world, man.
That's most of my current job is implementing marketing based changes.
Yeah,
that's my sort of day to day.
Yeah. Ideally, we get to a great relationship with one of these firms where that's what it is for us, and I don't mind that, right? I mean, I can implement the stuff left and right. We're perfectly fine with it. It's just talking to them because it's all about hype. There's so much about hype. They're the best. We have these awards. We've been talked about here and there. We know what we're doing. We're so good at this. And it's like. It's a science. I mean, I'm not going to even act like I understand it all. It's definitely a science. It's just the hype engine behind it. Just man. I mean, it's crazy. It's not me. It's not my world. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I actively dislike that world.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't participate in it, and I mean, you kind of know you're gonna have to get to it every now and then, but people make a living there. I mean, it's all. We worked with another client where we probably had a half a dozen meetings where SEO was all they wanted to talk about for like half the meeting. It was SEO, and it's like. I'm not worried about SEO. We can put that in anytime.
Is that still a thing, though? I mean, I remember SEO when it was like, if you weren't top of the list, you didn't get found, and getting found was important. But it's like, if you're providing a service instead of a product, then SEO seems like not that big of a deal anymore. Or like, if it is a big deal, maybe you're getting into the wrong industry. Maybe it's already a one industry.
I mean, there's still people trying to play the whole Google game, right? Where they're trying to get the highest ranking in Google, and they think they know the tricks to get the highest ranking in Google. I mean, there's still those group of people that are out there. And again,
it's still important.
yeah.
You get into the free listing or the top ranks, you get free traffic. That's how you make your money.
I mean, you've got to be on the first page at very least. I mean, even if you're not at the top, you've got to get on the first page without question.
Well, now you know there's no more first page. It's an endless scroller now.
What? I didn't know this.
And
this week, I hate those fave icons they put on the search results.
I actually haven't used it in a while. So wait, you're saying if I go to Google right now and type PHP ugly?
Oh, you know what?
What?
For me, it's not an endless scroller.
It is not an endless scroller.
It's saying not an endless scroller.
I think that was a beta for a while.
Interesting.
It's back to what it used to be. Now Google today changed their advertisement disclosure. Did you see that?
No.
Previously, there was a little yellow bar that said advertisement, and they've tinkered with the color of it and the location of it a couple times. But now it's...
I see what John's talking about. I this is how often I go to Google. They have little fave icons now, huh? I see we have a little PHP ugly one there.
And
look at them.
You'll see that ads are being injected somewhat randomly into the page as well.
I am not seeing an ad yet.
That's the thing, is you are seeing ads. It's just being so poorly disclosed now that
I don't think I'm seeing an ad. I think maybe my blockers might be grabbing them all. I'm not seeing any ad. I'm seeing all PHP ugly stuff.
Well, that's the thing, is if you type in cars for sale,
PHP came up. Oh, go ahead. I'm listening.
Type in cars for sale, and you should see a pretty good listing that you know is advertised based, but there's not much of a disclosure that there's an ad there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that would even indicate to me I'm looking at any advertisements.
Yeah, and that's bothering people. So for me, the ad that I'm getting is at the very bottom of the page, which they used to only be at the top.
Yeah, I don't get any ad. I mean, are you still getting something that tells you it's an ad?
Yes. But it's just a bold tag on the URL. Yeah. It's not any way changed from that.
I'm not seeing. I couldn't tell you which of these, if any of them, are ads. Just looking at my search results right now.
So if I search for computer parts, still getting no ads. They might know that I'm not a buyer. I don't click on ads. Oh, really? They might know that I don't click on ads and just not feed them to me because of that.
You're a waste of their time.
So you bring up computer parts. Just before we started recording, I haven't watched the full video, so I don't know if it's true or not, but Linus Tech Tips says he's thinking about retiring as his channel just reached 10 million subscribers.
Yes. So I have watched the whole video.
Oh, yeah?
And he has been thinking about retiring for a long time, or more correctly, he's been thinking about retirement. So what does retirement for him mean? Is the company in a stable position where he could leave the company and it would keep running and profiting? And he went through some really hard stuff recently with somebody who wanted to be on his podcast or on his YouTube channel as a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid.
What?
And
what?
He had a kid who wanted to meet Linus and do a video with him.
Okay.
But before they could get everything worked out, the kid got too sick to leave the hospital. And Linus had to cope with this kid who idolized him, who was dying, and the fact that his kids don't get to see him as much as he wants to see them, and that he built this company on telling his wife, when this part's done, I'll come back to the family and spend more time with you, and then when this part's done, and then when this part's done, and he's pushed it off for so many years now that the kids are getting older and he misses time with them. And this kid who had cancer who wanted to hang out with him really shook him.
I can see how that would bother somebody.
Yeah, and the whole thing is a response to the 10 million. So whenever they hit some kind of milestone, he would release a video and say, thank you to everybody, and here's this and that. And when he sat down to write a script out for this year's, the $10 million or the 10 million user milestone, he basically said, I can't fake the enthusiasm and energy right now. I just want you guys to understand what's going on more than anything else. So, like, he is thankful and he's really proud of what he's built and he loves what he does, but he's also missing out other parts of his life and wants people to understand why he can't fake the enthusiasm today. So, it's a sad video, but, he's not going anywhere real soon.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a lot of people supporting him. I think the tech industry that follows him is very aware of burnout and very aware of workaholic behavior, and so there's really not a lot of people out there negging him for any of this.
Interesting. I haven't watched Twitch in a long time. I need to get back. I used to be a big Twitch person. I used to be a big fan of Leo Laporte. And he was always somebody I thought was going to burn himself out. Because, the guy was doing, like, the radio show. He was trying to get a little podcast company going, at the time. And I'm like, man, this guy is, like, always on. Like, it's, how do you do that? And, fortunately, he finally got enough runway going where, he started hiring people for the Twitch network, and it wasn't all dependent on him. It wasn't a matter of if he wasn't talking, there was nobody listening, sort of scenario. So I was always happy to see that, but I say that and then I stop watching, right? I haven't watched the Twitch network in a long time, and it streams on Roku and everything. And I just I don't know why I fell out of that. I think I got more into. I think for me personally, I got more into the specific podcasts. Like, I found myself enjoying coding podcasts and Laravel podcasts specifically, which is on Twitch. They still seem to do those more, or at least when I was watching it, they were still doing those more high level, general, computers, Android sort of talks, but they weren't really digging deep into the little niches, the corners of our industry that I tend to live in. So I think that's what happened. I just ran out of time. I started getting more into specific podcasts and less into the more general stuff.
Yeah, my interests, they seem like they change every month or so. I've got the core stuff I like doing, like video games and stuff like that. By the way, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is amazing.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
I need something. I won that PlayStation, or I didn't win it. My wife won that PlayStation 4. I came home. I bought all the Batman games, and I haven't even played any of them. My daughter and her girlfriend. Her girlfriend actually plays them the most. I'm like, I gotta find something else to play on this game. So maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, my problem is I like short games. That's why I like Rocket League. I can get in, I can play for 5 to 10 minutes and be done, versus something like that where it sounds like you're gonna sit there for hours playing it.
Like there's a campaign that you have to work your way through. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of merit to that too. Rocket League worked very, very hard on reducing the time from launching the game to being in your first match to be as fast as possible. They want you to get into the game really, really quickly so you can play it for a 6-minute session and then put it away. And you just have to find the right kind of games for that. The thing about the Nintendo Switch that's really nice is that you can turn it off and it just pauses the game wherever you are right in the middle of it. And then you can pick it up out of the dock and walk over to your bed if you want to play 20 minutes in bed or whatever, and then plug it back in. You know, the Switch is really nice for that kind of ultra casual thing. And I don't know if you played the competitive Tetris game. Tetris 99. It's fantastic. It's like a 2-minute or 3-minute game. You from launching the game to playing it, you're in it in a minute and a half or less. 60 seconds. You've got a game going, and it's purely a skill-based game, and it gives you rewards for playing it, and it's a really, really good game for that quick pick-up, play, and then put away behavior. Also, there's a game called Thumper, which is similar. It's just a rhythm-based action game.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I am so over. Maybe I got burnt out in the 80s and 90s, but I'm just so over it. I enjoy watching people play video games. I'll watch people play. I have YouTube streamers I follow. I'll watch them play, but I don't know. I just don't have an interest in playing anymore. It's just I'd rather listen to a book or read a book, or if I have that much downtime, I like. There's no downtime I have where I want to sit at a computer and not code. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm behind a computer, I'm wanting to code, and really don't have an interest to do much of anything else, including games. And I guess I get that same feeling even if it's like a console game, like the PlayStation or the Switch. It's just like, I don't know. It just feels like a waste of time to me. I don't fault for people who get enjoyment out of it. I used to be that person. Check my Stream account and how much time I spent on what was it?
Civilization.
What was it? With the engineer and the guns.
Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress 2. Look how many hours I spent on Team Fortress 2. So I definitely understand, and I don't fault people like that. I'm just over it. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean I need it. I need competitive gaming to relax. Rocket League for me is a real validation of self, because I'm very good at it, and I'm at a point in the game where it allows me to feel like I've done something cool or done something successful, and the people on my team cheer me on. Although I did have the greatest game of Rocket League I've ever played in my life yesterday.
Yeah.
So we had one game where it was a 3-on-3 solo, so it's just 2 random people on my team. And one of the guys on my team was really cool and, forgave mistakes and didn't yell at everybody. The other guy was just raging at us. Just horrendous screaming, yelling, "We're idiots. We can't play the game. We should uninstall it." So I queued up after that game for the next match, and me and the cool guy were on a team together, and the guy who was raging at us was on the other team, and I believe we beat him 6-0, and he lost a rank, and we both gained a rank off that match. So it was very satisfying.
Have you and John played together yet?
We played together the one time.
You guys, that is like the game in the Laravel community. Like every Laravel elite plays Rocket League now. And I agree with Buttery. I think it's the new midlife crisis, man. All these old white guys playing Rocket League.
Oh, trust me, I know. My kids will bring friends over while I'm playing, and they'll say, "Oh, you still play Rocket League? That game's so old." and then they sit and watch me for a little bit, and they go, "Whoa, what rank are you, man? That's crazy." I'm like, "Yeah."
You guys need to get in there, man. Start to. We'll DiegoDev will sponsor a team, man. You, Spencer, John, guys, get in there and start wiping up the Laravel community with wins.
I lock up every time I'm trying to show off for somebody. Every time I've played with John and Spence, I've just done terribly.
I've been sitting at Silver 3 division like 2, 3, or 4 forever. Just can't seem to break that gold. I'll get on a win streak, and I'm like, okay, tonight's the night I'm going to gold. Nope.
Yeah, it's really tough. I'm at Diamond 2, and I've been stuck here for probably 300 hours.
Holy God! Have you really played 300 hours of a video game?
I broke 2,000 hours on Monday.
2,000 hours?
Yeah.
Do you understand if you made minimum wage, how much money you'd have at 2,000 hours?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be Diamond 2.
Oh my God, man.
And to answer your question, that'd be, what, $30,000?
Oh my God. 2,000 hours of your life playing Rocket League, man. That is... I said I wasn't gonna fault you, so I'm not gonna write you about it. Man, that is a lot of time.
For the record, I happened to check the other day. I'm at 24.
2,400?
No, 24.
24 hours.
You had 24 hours?
24 hours.
Oh, that's
like I said,
silver at 24 hours is not bad.
It's like I said, 5 to 10 minutes.
2,000 hours? Are you sure about that? Holy crap, dude!
Actually, I think as of today, it's 2001.
Good God, man!
I can check. I can pull it up right now.
Oh Jesus, that seems like a lot. Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm in like the top 80 something percentile. Like yeah, it's 2001 hours now.
It'll be 2002 tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what. As far as being competitive, I think this is the longest I've gone now in a long time where I haven't had like problems with my ankles and knees or anything like that. And I'm seriously thinking about starting to go to the gym and playing some basketball and trying to get more competitive with basketball. I miss being competitive. I used to play racquetball. And then I whipped the ass off the guy I was playing, and he went home and just would not call me anymore. He just won't play with me anymore.
Is this someone I know?
You never played anymore.
I think he played like 2 hours of racquetball with me, and that was it.
Well, yeah, I remember you blew your knee out.
I feel like I overstepped the bounds when I hugged him. He was like, dude, don't hug me. I'm like, ouch, okay, sorry, brother.
It was more the smacking on the ass. Yeah.
Well, I didn't really smack. It was more of a rub, grab, under the carriage thing. Yeah, I overstepped the bounds there. I'm sorry.
It's funny. I was actually just thinking we need to cancel that membership. But if you want to get back into it, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm definitely having knee trouble again. So.
Are you not going to the gym at all now, Jim? Or Jim? Who the hell is Jim? Jim, are you not going to the gym, John?
I haven't been in a while. No, I've been doing more like calisthenics at home.
Yeah, I got to. Yeah, this is for me. This has been a very long time without a blown knee, a blown ankle, blown something. So
testicle.
Those are fun to have.
I just have to bring that up every once in a while.
But I need to. I'm probably gonna start heading back and, like I said, get to because our gym has a basketball court, it has a pool, it has everything. So I'm gonna start heading back in there and making it part of my routine. I still need to figure out their schedules because I honestly want to get into like yoga because I want to work on like flexibility. I think that's my biggest problem is flexibility, but. I don't know. None of this seems related to coding, so I don't know how we got here. Talking about John's ass, my testicles, and flexibility seems a big spiral down even for us at PHP Ugly. I apologize to our three listeners.
So, all right, we'll bring it back to coding or the PHP community. Do you see that the PHP Tech schedule has been released?
Speakers announced.
I got my rejection letter. I am not speaking.
They have snubbed John.
But I will be there. Looking forward to it. We got Sunshine PHP coming up next month? So that's around the corner.
That's like in a couple weeks, I think.
I will not be there, unfortunately, but I have little kids. I can't go to every conference out there as much as I'd like to.
Yeah, I actually was offered a ticket to Sunshine, and I had offered it to the team, but nobody seemed interested in going.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You see that? I posted that in Slack. We got.
Well, I knew you had posted it. I just couldn't believe nobody took you up on it.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody's interested in going out to Miami, so I don't know. Yeah, Sunshine is. I don't know. I'm kind of gearing down on my conference, on my desire to go to like. I have these desires to go to conference. I mean, really, just to socialize now, and I'm like not particularly wanting to like. I don't know. It just takes so much time. They're beneficial. They're definitely beneficial, but
I'm excited about the changes tech has made. They now have 3 tracks, one geared toward tech leadership, one geared just towards PHP, and one towards web technologies.
Mm-hmm.
And as a business owner, there's actually a couple in the tech leadership track that I'm very interested in seeing.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the schedule yet. I actually need to get my ticket still. I need to check all that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my rotation now is PHP Tech, PHP World, either one or the other or both. Is, if I'm feeling up to it, and then Laracon. I think I'm pretty dialed into those conferences now, and all the other ones is just like, yeah, it's nice, but I'm really busy. I got so much stuff going on.
Yeah, you can only step away from client projects for so long.
Exactly. That's kind of what it boils down to.
Yeah. I'm excited about how to write simple yet effective requirements documentation because I am terrible at that.
Yeah, I'd be surprised what they can tell you in an hour. Are they still all just an hour-long sessions?
Yep, pretty much 45 minutes.
Wow, man.
This time.
Interesting. I'm bummed I know you take it in stride, but I'm bummed you didn't get selected, man.
There's only so many spots there. And when you think about it, with doing these 3 tracks, there's only one track of PHP development, so there's even fewer possible slots.
Yeah, but with your experience in adapting a business from contractors to employees in California, holy shit, your next presentation next year could be amazing. You could present everything you've learned about having to make that transition, and I guarantee you that would be picked up as a talk.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that actually, and I didn't know they were doing this whole tech leadership track this way.
So you're only there. We're only going Wednesday, Thursday, right? We're not worried about Tuesday workshops.
I think Tuesday. Well,
Tuesday's workshops doesn't. I mean, I'll probably fly in Tuesday, but I don't see anything here.
Here's the thing. Dave Stokes is doing a workshop on MySQL indexes, histograms, and more.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
And if I had my way, I would 100% be in on that workshop because he is an amazing presenter. He really knows his shit.
Well,
and
he's been doing it long enough.
yeah, and I would love to see him again because he presented at SDPHP once, or no, a couple times.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, and he gave a presentation on the new JSON field type.
Mm-hmm.
That was just fantastic, and I think I picked his brain for like an hour after the presentation or something like that, and I'd love to see him again. That's a Tuesday workshop.
Yeah, leadership skills for the new managers. The other one I'm looking at. That's a workshop.
Yeah, yes, it is. That is the one I will be far away from.
Kid, I don't want to be a manager. Don't try to make me one.
Really don't.
The new CSS. What's the new CSS? Learn to love styles.
Also this week, Laracon Online is early birding their tickets for $25.
Yeah, I snagged one of those as well. I did snag one. That's a kind of an easy one. $25, and honestly, I mean, you get a lot of the speakers who will be speaking at the other Laracon conferences, so it's really not a bad deal at all. Even if you can't watch the whole conference, because it's hard for us to watch the conference because we're West Coast. They start like at 9 a.m. on the East Coast or something like, I think it's 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. on the East Coast. So for us, like by the time we did this last year, by the time everybody got to the office, around 9 o'clock, the conference was, well into the sessions. But they make all the videos available to you, so it's not like you lose out on anything. So it's definitely worth it if you're into that thing, if you enjoy seeing people speak.
Do they have an office party ticket? Is that what you got? Or did you get just the individual?
I was a little confused by it because they every year they say they're going to offer an office party level because they know people do it. I mean, it's no secret. But this year they gave you the ability to buy for other people, which I wasn't sure. Well, no, I mean, it was basically buying for other people, so there was no discount for it being like an office party.
At $25, you might as well just buy for everybody, right?
Well,
did John just announce on PHP Ugly that we're buying Laracon Online for all of DiegoDev?
So what they have is they have something called viewing parties.
All right, I'll do it right after the show. I'll buy it for everybody after the show.
After the show, you've gotten lazy.
You want me to do it now? I'll do it now. Shit, I don't care. You
what
guys
they do have viewing parties, so you could designate your office as a viewing party location. And you just have to contact them for that, and they'll put you on the website.
I don't want that. I don't want people coming to my office.
You don't want randos showing up?
Not particularly. What's the Laracon Online URL? Is it .com?
Laracon.net.
.net. All right, here we go.
I was wrong. Actually, the full price is $25. The early bird is $12.
I'm streaming this as we speak. So we're going to actually I shouldn't stream everybody's emails. So let me turn that off now. Where's the?
Just do it after the show. Can we wrap this up?
She's so easy to bait, though.
No, man.
Yeah.
Look, there's my purchases.
You don't need to buy for everyone right this second.
So, I want to cover some sad doom and gloom here. The project lead of CodeIgniter, Jim Perry, has passed away.
Yeah, jeez, that was horrible.
The project is still moving on, and in his honor, they're shooting for a 4.0 release on his birthday, February 24th, and it's sad.
Mm. Yeah, that was very sad. I was yeah. That's always hard to hear.
I think it's interesting because really, I mean, I've been doing this for as long as anybody I know. I've been coding for as long as anybody I know outside of literal graybeards who trained me in the first place. I've been doing this for 20 years, and this is going to start happening more and more frequently, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. Yeah, I mean we're at that age, right? I mean the
Right.
generations of people who started this industry, they're getting up there, and yeah, it's just how it is.
Yeah, and just thinking about it now, I wouldn't be surprised if you started seeing a sort of last will and testament style license getting attached to open source projects. Who I want to maintain this, how I want it to be maintained, stuff like that. Because reading the article about Jim Perry is, there's a lot of discussion about who's taking over which positions and the involvement of his sons in managing this handover. But really, the internet's 30 years old, and it hasn't had to deal with a true, barrier of old age impacting its user base. You think about how many users there are on Facebook right now, and the fact that it's all an older audience. It's all people our age. Kids really aren't using Facebook. Then does Facebook exist in 20 years if all of the users start just permanently logging off?
Yep. Yeah. I'll be happy when Facebook is gone.
Well, but it'll mean you're gone too.
No, I won't. I won't be gone. Remember, MySpace was it, right? When everybody said when MySpace died, the internet would die. Facebook replaced them. There'll be something else. I mean, I won't necessarily be happy about it, but there'll be something else. I'm just tired of Facebook. I'm tired of the Facebook world. I'm sick of it. It's time for they've long lived past their use, and as if they ever really had a use, and something else needs to come in and take their place. All right, I think that's it, man. I think that was a good show. I think we need to wrap it up. We didn't have a lot of PHP talk, but we'll get more. We'll get more.
Whoa! I gave some great PHP talk.
You stick with it a couple weeks, and we'll see how great it is. You rambled about something you want to do, as always. I'm going to do this.
Wow, that one stung a little. Feel personally attacked. Attacked like Jeff Bezos, who had his iPhone X hacked by the Saudi Arabian prince.
What are you talking about now? This is not in your Trello board.
Keep it ugly.
All right, that's fine. That works for me. I'm good. I'm Eric Van Johnson.
Hold on. I would like to thank our Patreons. As always.
Patreons, yes. See, here's the problem with using Ecamm. I don't have a Patreon slide I can throw up. We need to get OBS working again. God damn it, OBS. What a pain in the ass that thing is. Yes, thanks our Patreons. We still don't have that Tesla money we're shooting for, so you guys really need to step it up a little bit, let's be honest.
No, but I do need a computer upgrade, so I think I'm going to pull some of my share of that Patreon money to get myself something that can run OBS because Eric can't get it working.
Dude, I would love that. You want to run? Hey, you got the Windows machine. Everywhere I'm reading, OBS really runs best on Windows. So, you want to run OBS, you're more than welcome to do it.
Wow. I got to get me some of that Patreon dollars.
What do you need? OBS is free, so yeah, I'll send you that much. What else you need? We'll talk about it later.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
Man, such a struggle. Such a struggle. I really need to
So
get
you
OBS
want
working.
your cut of $10?
$10. You think?
Thomas, do you want a Laricon Online ticket?
I will gladly take one, but I will make Jose pay it.
I was gonna. Okay, I was going to send one to you, but if Jose doesn't get you one, let me know. I'll DiegoDev will sponsor you if you would like.
No, I think he'll pay for it because he'll intend to share it the rest of the class.
Thanks, Buttery. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Buttery, Lockett, Darryl.
Yeah, we had a couple people in there. Darryl.
Shutter.
We need. While you're thinking, everybody, we need to find out where we posted the job stuff and somehow take that down. Can you delete tweets yet?
Can I delete job stuff?
Tweets.
You can't. I don't know. Can you delete tweets? Yeah, you
Yeah,
can delete tweets.
Man.
Yeah. You want to delete the job posting tweets?
Yeah, I need to do the same. Anywhere you got retweets and all. I wonder how that works.
Yeah, I don't know actually how that works.
You haven't looked at what our current balance on Patreon is, have you?
I'm still streaming, so don't say anything yet. But no, I honestly haven't looked at Patreon in months. Do I have Tesla money?
No, but we got money for my computer parts.
What computer parts do you possibly need, man, that Jose won't buy for you?
Personal computer parts?
Right.
I put it in Slack.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I'm still buying tickets for Laricon Online for everybody before John changes his mind.
Now I need to upgrade my gaming PC and then co-opt my gaming PC back into my bedroom as my processing my daily work PC, because I told you my desktop died like a year ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm running off of this dual laptop situation.
Dude, how do we get so low on employees now? Not that I'm complaining at this moment, but interesting. Alrighty, we're buying tickets, $12 a piece. So, all right. I'm stopping the stream. You guys want to stop your personal recordings? You can do that as well. Thank you, everybody watching the after show, watching this, watching that. Appreciate it.